Whew. I'm back, bitches.
Welcome to WrestleMan With A Podcast. I'm Dylan Shields. We talk Raw, SmackDown, wrestling news, and some fun top lists. With that being said, ring the bell.
That's right. I'm back. This is back. Finally, after around a month, WrestleMan With A Podcast is back. And I want to apologize to you guys. I mentioned it on the previous episode, but it didn't get many views. But I do have a football podcast called the DQ Frenzy that I have to do every week. And this has to be put on hold because of that. I will still be reviewing and previewing pay-per-views and discussing the landscape of the wrestling business recently because I've still kept up with it. There's been some major things going on here, but I can't do it alone. Making his long-awaited return for the first time since around the SummerSlam vlog is Troy. What is up, Troy?
Hello, lovely people. It's me. It's your boy, your host the most. It's your big T. Troy Sig, who's back again here on the WrestleMan Podcast. It's good to be back. Like I said, it's been since SummerSlam, which has been a while, and that was when we did a really long prediction video because there was like 12. Wait, there's what, 8 of us?
Oh, yeah, there was around 8. It was a lot of people.
We crammed that thing. But we're back talking about Bad Blood today.
Yes, we are. And dressed for the occasion here, I'm dressed in red, even if it's a little maroon for Bad Blood.
I got a stab because blood.
We probably will actually see some blood here.
We actually will.
Maybe. Who's not here? I will say who's not here today is Matt. Matt is too busy with freaking schoolwork. Screw that guy.
How dare you try to get to become like a nurse or something?
See, how dare you, Matt? But he did text me his predictions, so I will mention them because he seems to be the god at these for some weird reason every time.
Question: did he give like explanations to why he predicted what he predicted, or did he just give you a name?
A few, half and half, really. It's weird. Yeah, half and half. So it seems like he was dead on confident on some, but then he had to explain some others because he wasn't exactly sure. So
okay. It's a very interesting card we got here. I have a lot of thoughts. Like why is some matches on there? Why is Gunther versus Sami Zayn not on a pay-per-view? Why is that on Raw?
Because it's 5 matches. You can't go over Triple H's 5-match card, man.
You know the Bayley match you can cut. It's okay. You can cut the women. No one cares about that belt. You can have the actual belt people care about.
Yeah, we'll talk about Tiffany. That's the interesting factor in it.
Or have like a tag title match. There's not even a tag match on this card.
I think the tag champs are hosting the show for some weird reason. Bianca Jade are hosting it. And hosting the show means nothing in wrestling, so.
No, that means they can get a nice payday and probably wear some fancy attire.
At least you get a payday, but it still is an interesting card. I am hyped for the pay-per-view. There are some big-time matches. Let's start with Finn Balor versus Damian Priest here. A little grudge match here. Regular Finn Balor. No demon here for now. We'll see.
And maybe no stipulation, is it? It's just one-on-one.
No, just one-on-one. But there's too many You can only do one stipulation match. Oh, that's it.
Well, Shark Cage, that's a stipulation.
I guess that's technically that. And speaking of that, it's interesting how I think this is going to flow. Like, are both of the Judgment Day going to win? Or both of the Terror Twins going to win? Is it going to be split a piece? I don't know what direction they're heading into. It's interesting.
It's very convoluted. It really is. Because on the one hand, if you're going to build Damian up as this big babyface, he should win. He really should. Because let's be honest. Even though I love Finn, this man's a jobber to the stars for life. No matter who he faces, always jobber to the stars. We'll be like, oh, he's getting a push. No. So, like, I can see, like, Judgment Day shenanigans in this one. But I can also see that in the other match. But the split at 50-50, since I think Damian's going to become a bigger star because of this, I don't see Finn Balor becoming a bigger star anymore. I think he's mid-card for life, and that's the problem because I'm sorry, he is. It's sad what they did. He's the tag champion. Apparently, I just saw on a thing today. They
Oh
passed
yeah, that's
100
right.
days.
They're the tag champions. They've defended it like
100
time.
days, one defense.
Yeah, even Roman Reigns would be like, "What the hell, guys?"
Yeah, at least he would show up twice. Like, come on. So I'm going Damian Priest because I feel like his babyface push and like become like a huge bit. Like, I think that's still on the rise. So I think cutting his legs off from here would, for me, hurt him a little bit, especially because, like I said, how Finn Balor is used kind of as the job. Like, him and JD are the job guys. The other one that constantly wins anymore in the New Judgment Day is Liv.
Yeah, the champion, pretty much. I'm going to agree with you. I think Damien's going to win. And you said on the rise. That's very poetic of you to say that with Damian Priest, all rise. But yeah, I feel like they're just building him up a lot more than Finn. I feel like the real turning point was last year's SummerSlam with Finn versus Seth. After that, it seemed like Priest was on the rise while Finn was kind of just tag champions, 50-50 booking. That's really it.
50-50.
I mean, at least Finn's on pay-per-view. I will say that in a one-on-one match. And how long's it been since that's happened? So
Edge at Hell in No, wait.
I think the Seth match. I think it's the Seth match.
That's right.
Last year.
Because I remember he got jobbed out by Edge at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but I think he's going to get jobbed out again to Damien. Yeah, and I've liked Damien's rise. I mean, I've said this a multitude of times how much we both doubted Damien like cashing in and then is him versus going through a SummerSlam worthy match, or is Damian Priest's babyface turn going to work? All of that stuff worked. They did a really good job, and now he's one of the most popular guys. And the fact that Finn keeps getting the upper hand on Priest on Raw, that makes me think Priest is finally going to get revenge on Finn. I don't think in either Judgment Day matches the feud's over. I think we're going to go all the way to War Games for both of these. So
would it be like, okay.
Yeah, with Priest and Finn, it's a little bit weird because I think the woman will probably have a War Games involving. We'll talk about that match.
An intergender War Games match, which you could do. I mean, they've never done it before. It's not
honestly.
Impossible. You can have Rhea just beat the shit out of Dominic.
Throw him off the top of the.
I would mark that the hell out. Don't tell me that wouldn't be awesome.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, but Priest for me. Let's go to that match. Liv versus Rhea Ripley with Dominic in a shark cage. Okay. This is the closest we're going to get to custody of Dominic.
Who? Okay, I know this is such an old school wrestling trope. No one has ever, when they put in the shark cage, they always still manage to cheat. That has never stopped people from cheating. Like,
yeah, there's a little bit of a gap between, so they can like throw something down.
Like if it was like at the side of the ring. Do you remember? Oh my God. Okay, I don't want to bring a tangent, but do you remember? I think it was Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston on Dynamite, and they were in the other inner circle match in a shark cage, and they couldn't get the lock to open, so they just had to crawl through the bars. But they weren't like high up; they were like on the ground. I'm like, you couldn't do that already.
That match was such a clusterfuck.
That was so bad. I'm sorry. Anytime I think that was the last time I remember a shark cage match besides this one. Because the last time WWE did one was that Enzo Amore was in the shark cage or some shit?
Yeah, I think it was him. It was like Big Show versus Big Cass. Enzo like hurt himself because he was like sliding to get, and then he got the shit beat out of him.
So, yeah. But I don't know. Liv is obviously going to win.
Wow, you said it just like that.
I'm sorry. Like, personally, I feel like this is a missed opportunity to have this match. You already have the Hell in a Cell there. Why not do a Hell in a Cell? But I guess you don't want to do 2 Hell in a Cells like you used to do for that pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think they're kind of done with multiple. I think they're just sticking with one every now and then.
But it's also like, damn, this match could have really done a great Hell in a Cell. I feel like the feud would have benefited. But I don't know. After this, next show is it Survivor
Crown
Series?
Jewel.
Oh, great. So
it's how forgettable the Saudi pay-per-views are. Like, no,
right, but they're getting better. Remember. They get better. Like they've been getting better. But unfortunately, I feel like Rhea's not going to win to like their last encounter, which is going to be the next pay-per-view. So Dom's gonna find a way. Don't know how. Don't know why. He'll drop something from from his cage. Liv will use it. Or I know I saw things that apparently like Raquel Rodriguez is supposed to come back soon. So people are also saying that she could be Liv's bodyguard. So I don't know.
That would be interesting to heal.
I don't know how
Raquel.
accurate that would be. So, but no, yeah, for me, Liv's winning this one, unfortunately.
And by the way, of course, I immediately forget to say what Matt's pick was. He picked Finn to win.
This man,
interestingly, so he's being different than us. Just because the feud, he thinks the feud's going to continue. So if it's going to continue, Finn winning, pretty much.
I mean, Finn,
which
Finn
I get.
Yeah, they can beat him up after the match to continue the feud as well.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, watch Finn win now because Matt just seems to have voodoo magic on these damn predictions.
Is he picking something different than Liv at this match? Can you get his just so I know?
Oh, he's picking Liv. He's picking Liv.
Hey, finally.
And I am too. A lot of people are picking Rhea, which I get, but I don't think this is the blow off at all. Like I said, I think War Games is where it ends. It's weird because with championships on the line, it's like if that's the blow off, when's Rhea going to be champion? Maybe a crown jewel, but I want Liv's reign to continue on a little bit longer. I think if Raquel comes back, it'd be weird if she came back on a pay-per-view. I don't know how big of a star she is. No disrespect to her.
Why I saw a rumor about that, so I just want to bring it up.
It would make things interesting. Maybe Rhea has to go through Raquel first to get back to Liv, but yeah, Dominic's gonna find some way to cheat. It's just gonna happen. I mean, the image of him is gonna be insane alone on that shark cage.
Man slips an entire kendo stick down his pants and falls through them. Can you imagine? Because like, what are they gonna throw? Are they gonna do like brass knucks? They always do brass knucks.
Chicken tenders.
Oh, he drops.
He's gonna have his chicken
controller.
Oh, he's going to have chicken tenders, a little TV, and a PS5 on the shark cage. He's like, oh, this isn't so bad. It isn't so bad. I'm comfortable up here.
Oh, no, I want that so bad. Oh, that's hilarious.
Reality, it'll probably be, brass knucks or something like that. I've loved Liv's character, so I just think she needs to continue. I think Rhea as an underdog is like an interesting position for her to be in. I think she's going to go into next year's Mania as champion, no doubt. It's just no one else is dethroning Liv except Rhea. It makes no sense for anybody else to beat Liv but Rhea, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I think continue it a little bit more.
Like, Liv's character work's been great, but man, when's the last time she actually wrestled?
I think Bash of Berlin, the pay-per-view.
Like,
and that mixed tag match.
Like, she's the women's champion, and I don't see many matches unless she's
not every champion's on pay-per-view.
I know, but like, my God, fight on Raw. Like, everyone, at least the champs that are on pay-per-view, they're on Raw.
That is true, but yeah, we all agree with Liv here, so watch Rhea win. Let's go to the other women's match here that Troy is so interested in. He's expressed his interest, and that's Nia Jax versus Bayley in a SummerSlam rematch. Hey, their SummerSlam match was actually pretty decent. I will admit that. We saw it live, so.
And was that my piss break match?
It was your piss break match.
Yeah, but I actually came to was that when Bayley tried powerbombing? She did powerbomb.
She did powerbomb her. That was impressive.
That's like the only spot I remember from that entire match.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's another match where Tiffany's the most interesting part. Like, is she going to cash in? Is she not? They've been teasing things. I think Nia even threatened her too, like last week on SmackDown. So,
I mean, I don't know. I don't care. I'm sorry. The SmackDown women's division is just so. Like, you got talent. You do have talent, but man, if you're not a Bloodline member, there's no point.
Speaking of Naomi, I think we may be teasing a heel turn from her coming up soon, and maybe she costs Bayley here, possibly.
Could.
And Nia's part of the Bloodline too. Female Bloodline.
I don't know why they don't bring that up because she is a family member.
It is weird. I don't know. I think Nia's retaining.
Oh
She
yeah,
just
same.
won this at SummerSlam, and I don't think Tiffany's gonna cash in
But we
yet.
just,
I think they want to.
I will
You go.
bring up Braun losing the IC title immediately, even though he owed it for like a month. Did not expect
That's right.
that. So, but I think Jey Uso is a much popular star than Bayley is at this point. Unfortunately,
Jay earned it. He deserved that win.
he did. It's just I did not expect that as soon as because Braun only won that Summer Gun at SummerSlam. So
And
like,
also too, brand new design too with the blue. I love it.
My biggest complaint of that belt was always that it was just black and gold. Now with that extra blue, gorgeous. But back to the women's match. Yeah, no, Nia's gonna win. I don't see Tiffany cashing in yet. I still feel it's too early because any time someone brings out a custom Money in the Bank, they usually like show it off for a little bit. So
Look at Priest. He held that thing forever.
And do you remember Damien Sandow's like leather one?
Leather chocolate one.
It would look delicious, but he held that for a decent bit. I say Tiffany probably cashing in Survivor Series.
I can honestly see them holding it off till WrestleMania to have a first ever female WrestleMania cash in because we've yet to have that.
Man, Nia's gonna be champion till fucking Mania. I don't know about that one.
Not if the Queen Charlotte Flair has anything to say about that.
Sure.
She's rumored to return in December. So
she's been gone a while, though. I will say she's been gone since 23. She's not been back this entire year.
Like after she lost to Rhea, I think that was it.
Yeah, she's been gone since Mania 39. That's insane.
Yeah, but
she used to come in, win the belt, drop it, leave.
But might happen again. But yeah, I think Nia retains, and I don't think we get a cash in yet. Because I will say Bayley's been more the person I've been disappointed of their booking, especially the babyface book. And Nia, I think, has been actually having a pretty good year. Maybe her matches don't wow you, but her character work, and I like the alliance with her and Tiffany. Like she's a lot better than she was like the beginning of her career.
That is true. And she is definitely improved.
She's a good heel. So yeah, I'm gonna say no Tiffy cash and Nia retains. Matt's answer, this is the one he kind of bullshitted this to try to like justify. He said basically the same thing. He said Nia, but not sure if Tiffy cashes in or not, but I definitely see her teasing. So we're gonna say he's not. We're gonna say he says shit. She's not cashing in.
Yeah, that's a no.
Because watch Tiffany cash in and Matt's like, see, I told you she was gonna do it. It's like, no, you didn't.
That was a tease. That was a tease you said.
Yeah, it was a tease, you bastard.
this man, when he finally watches his podcast, is gonna comment the hell out of us.
Oh, yes, he is. It'll probably be the only comment on this. But let's go to the two big time matches here that pretty much make the pay-per-view. First, going with Cody and Roman versus Solo and Fatu. Oh boy. I think there's a chance that this main events, even though personally, I personally want Punk Drew. Trust me, they earned it, but it's the bloodline and it's Roman and Cody teaming. This is like Stone Cold and The Rock teaming. Like it's a big deal that this is happening, and it's Cody's hometown.
The only excuse I can give you to this main eventing is if The Rock returns at the end of this. That's the only excuse I can give you. Besides that, this should not main event. Not at all. Honestly, I will say this might be the opener.
Yeah, I think one of the two like matches we'll talk about, one will be the opener, one will be the main event because they like to open with a big match and close with one. So this could easily do that. Cody has seemed to open a lot of matches on pay-per-views, I've noticed, which is very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's been weird. The only pay-per-view, so I think the only one he really main evented was
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I think Money in the Bank too, but that was a tag match. So
he's been in a lot of goddamn tag matches. It's because Cody Rhodes
a lot of non-title tag matches.
This man can't escape the bloodline if he tries.
I feel like they want to keep making Cody a big deal, so they're putting him in this bloodline stuff for a reason. It's interesting because he's got that, and it's leading to the KO Orton dissension a little bit. They were going at it for a little bit on SmackDown last week, and now Orton's back involved in the picture. I love the line Orton said, "I don't have a problem unless you make it a problem." So
That was a
something's
crystal.
happening. I will say, Troy, I don't think we're getting OG versus New Bloodline anymore at Survivor Series. I think we're getting Roman, Cody, KO, Orton versus this New Bloodline. I think that's what makes more sense.
No, I mean, God, that. So we're not gonna have Jay or Jimmy tagging along with Roman.
It's because Jay's doing his own thing. Jimmy hasn't even returned yet, and Sammy's doing his own thing right now. So I don't know how you could bring him back in like a month when you had years of storytelling with all four of them.
They've done worse. They switched that Cody to Roman main event like 3 weeks?
Yeah. But what else is Cody going to do if he's not in the War Games? Will he finally have that Orton match at Survivor Series?
Good. Kevin Owens could turn heel.
Maybe. Both of them.
Because I've heard that apparently they're hoping for Crown Jewel to have Roman and Cody 3.
I heard that. I'm like, you're going to do the third match in Saudi Arabia? Like, real? Like, no disrespect
Saudi
to
loves
the
its
people,
big
but
matches.
like,
They do
but
love
like, this is like Roman Cody. This is like one of the biggest matches you could possibly do. This is like 1-to-1 match 3, and you're gonna do it there and not just wait till like maybe the shifts turn and Cody. I think if Cody turns heel down the line, I'd be more interested in that being the third encounter between them rather than doing it in Saudi of all places.
I
don't
agree.
know.
I don't know if that'll happen though. I'm just going off what I see. We
got to talk about the match. We're talking so much about the outside stuff.
I mean, the match would be great. I mean, when Solo is the worst wrestler out of all four.
I mean, Fatu is a difference maker, and I'm so torn on this match because I could see it going either way, and I think Cody said in like an interview that this match makes it a big deal in terms of what's going to happen at Crown Jewel. What I think that means, I think Roman is going to accidentally spear Cody, and it's going to lead to Solo and Fatu winning because I think they need it more than Cody and Roman are the two biggest stars right now. They can lose as much as they want and be fine. They're over with the crowd. And I just think it makes it more interesting. You want to make Solo and Fatu legit. And Solo's already lost to Cody twice. So you need to have, I would like to have maybe either Fatu pin Cody, or I'd love to see Fatu pin Roman possibly. But imagine making Fatu that much of a big deal.
That would be a push, wouldn't
it? In terms of The Rock, I don't think he's coming back. I think Jimmy maybe would be more likely of a return than The Rock. I don't think The Rock's coming back to that first Netflix show. I think it makes sense because I don't think The Rock's going to be at War Games because you think Rock with all the millions of dollars and the movies he's making, he's going to take a bunch of bumps through tables and risk himself.
He'll like get KO'd in the corner and then sit out the rest of the way. He'll do like 2 spots
or he'll come out last and just hit finishers on everybody.
Exactly.
I mean, I would like to see it because we need to see Rock soon to see where this is going. Probably Cody Rock next year, most likely. And like you mentioned, the third match with Cody Roman. Yeah, I believe the rumors. So yeah, I'm going to say that Roman accidentally costs Cody and it gives Solo and Jacob the win. So they're more dominant and it leads to a Cody Roman match because now they got tension between them at Crown Jewel, which, spoiler, there's no way Cody's losing that match if that's the match. But I'm excited for it. This one's going to get the crowd hyped, considering how over these guys are.
This one's really tough because I also don't think you're going to have Roman lose his return match, like his big return match. I don't think you're having him lose either. And like Jacob Fatu is not technically eat a lost, but like Solo could eat a loss. So the only two people that are going to get pinned in this match are either Cody or Solo.
Yeah.
That's the 2 options. But to be different than you, I'm gonna say that Cody and Roman do pick up the win, and maybe this. So my thinking is this might be stupid, like fantasy booking you, boy. This might lead dissension to the new bloodline, and that's when The Rock would return to take over the new bloodline because he's like Solo's not doing a good enough job, or Jacob Fatu can kick out Solo as well, and he becomes because he's so much better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
You're not wrong.
I'm just preaching, but could be like I said, if Solo loses again, and then Jacob, Tama, and Tonga, who has Tonga wrestled more than like 3 matches?
Hey, he's the tag champ. Put some respect on the Botch King's name.
Or he's gonna botch so hard at this match. Oh, the popcorn's gonna be ready.
Oh yeah, you know you're gonna get bloodline shenanigans. When do you ever not get the shenanigans in their matches?
Exactly. So, but I'm still going Cody Roman winning this one to be different, and this would lead to possible dissension leading into War Games, and then Solo could either lose the War Games match, or like so, The Rock comes in and he takes over control again because he's tired of Solo losing.
Interesting. Matt went with Cody and Roman too, so you two agree, and so yeah, that'll be interesting.
What did Matt say about Cody in this one?
That one he literally said nothing. He's just like Cody and Roman.
This man had interesting. Because usually he has something to say.
Usually, not this time. So that shaves off like 10 minutes of time because that man loves to talk.
But we love him so much, but that man is a gift.
We love you so much, but fuck you. Okay. All right. What will hopefully be main event time.
This better be
CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell.
Why is Punk's face cut off halfway?
I don't know why. I don't know why it's cut off. Who cares? That's how professional our podcast is. But
the most professional wrestling podcast.
Feud of the year, 100%. I will say, I feel like I don't want to say treading water, but I feel like the most interesting parts of the feud were before the matches. Now it just feels like we're having the matches. We knew it was going to come down to this, so it was kind of predictable. They were still good stuff, but like the first few months were like the most interesting stuff because it was so unpredictable. It's nothing bad to say, but that's just how this feud's been. And they're literally saying it's how the feud ends. It needs to end here. As good as the feud is, both of them need to move on, especially Punk, because we want to see Punk in like dream matches. So, but this one, Troy, is the easiest for me to predict out of all of these matches because Punk teased going after the world title, and Punk versus Gunther is rumored for Survivor Series. So Punk's not losing this feud. He's not. It's his first feud back. He's going to beat Drew. I would love to see Drew win with this new character. I mean, I know a lot of people are vouching for that, and I've expressed how much I love Drew's new character. But they're not having Punk lose his first feud if he's going after a world title, and Punk Seth's on the horizon as well, which welcome back, Seth. But yeah, it's going to be a great match. I hope to see blood because they literally warned each other. Like,
the show is called Bad Blood.
Yeah, it better be, like Punk especially will probably bleed, and we hope for the sake of his health that Punk walks out fine and doesn't get injured again. Please,
interesting.
Pretty please.
Interesting. I have a very different opinion about this match. The match is going to be a classic, but I'm saying Drew wins this. So if we go back,
Drew wins the feud.
So. Because now Punk's pissing off more people. So, because... Let me pitch on to you. He beat the crap out... He GTS Ethan Page at the end of the NXT show.
Mm-hmm.
I texted this to you. Ethan Page is going to somehow get in the Hell in a Cell cost.
Yeah, you texted. You think Ethan Page is going to get involved in the main event of Bad Blood?
Listen, if you're going to build a star... How big of a star would that be if he's helping out Mac? Because now there's so many people with beef against Punk. Like Seth could come beat him up. Drew would obviously beat him up. Now you got Paige beating it up. There's gonna be a coalition against CM Punk that I think the numbers game might be too great because CM Punk has not many friends right now. Because, like, who is he allied with besides the women of NXT? And Trish
Larry.
Williams. Oh, his dog. Oh, they bring his dog out. They swing it around the Hell in a Cell. But I think for Drew's career-wise, since he's been losing so goddamn much, I feel like Drew needs to win a feud for once. And I feel like this being the hottest feud, and like so the fact, because like I think if Punk loses, he's not gonna go down and not face Gunther. I still think he still can. I still think that will be on the table. You can just have him wrestle a couple times on Raw to win the opportunity, that kind of garbage, you know, how they do. But I think Drew needs it more, and I feel like there's more opportunity if like someone like I said, if others come in to help Drew defeat CM Punk, like screw Punk out of the match. I feel like that would lead to. Because can you imagine how big of a star thing Ethan Page would be if he faced CM Punk in like the next? And plus, they're great talkers, both of them. They'd be great promos. I'm not saying it has to lead to like a Mania match. Like hell, you can have that's the match of Crown Jewel. Punk beats Page there, and then goes on to Gunther at Survivor Series. I don't know.
This is one of those feuds where I don't think it matters who wins. I don't think it hurts either guy. I even think Drew's established to the point where he can lose and be fine. I don't think
losing this entire year.
Yeah, he did win at SummerSlam though, and maybe this can add to his character, just making excuses, being more pissed off, and now that he lost the feud, now he's just going to be blind with rage. So he's just going to take out anyone. I feel like we may need a brand switch for Drew because he's pretty much faced everyone on Raw, pretty much. I don't know who else Drew has.
When's the next draft? That's the next question.
Like, I don't know when they'll do this, but this version of Drew versus Cody would that would be an incredible feud.
Royal Rumble. Do it Royal Rumble.
Which maybe if somehow they are doing that soon, maybe Drew wins the feud. But I'm going to stick with my guns and go with Punk to win. Matt agrees with me. He's going with the straight edge superstar to win the feud and stay healthy and not get injured. And he will not miss WrestleMania. So
the fact that Punk's managed 2 matches is still shocking to me.
It's funny because Punk, like in the, I think Clash at the Castle, interview, like someone was asking him like Hell in a Cell, but I think he asked like the first match being Hell in a Cell, and Punk's like, "You're fucking ridiculous. Like, what kind of fantasy booking shit is this?"
It's still weird that they did a strap match for the second one.
Yeah, it's touch the corners.
Touch the corners.
I enjoy the match, but
it was good. It was just, I know AWA did the dog collar match. You could have just done it again. WWE is not immune to ripping off other companies. It's fine.
Hey, at least it's gray now, the Hell in a Cell. Thank God. It actually looks good. It doesn't look like a toy anymore.
That was... don't bring me up the worst era of Hell in a Cell matches, the red era.
Seth Rollins versus the that just made the mood so
Roman versus Brock Lesnar. No, Roman versus Braun, and Brock came out, just beat everyone up and left.
Oh,
double DQ. So yeah, we have quite a few differences. We've gone through
the trenches as fans. That's why we earned our way to this podcast, because now we're talking about the good era.
We've seen all the garbage.
We've seen as bad as you can get. Speaking of as bad as you can get, let's talk about the Vince McMahon Netflix documentary here. Now, I watched all of it. Troy's watched 2 episodes, I believe.
So, but the main thing is, from what I've been told for the rest of the episodes, it's if you're a wrestling fan and you know anything about Vince, you're not going to learn much new on this. That's kind of the main thing. You're not going to learn anything new.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to describe it is if you know of Vince McMahon but don't know the details or stories, you might enjoy it. If you're smart-ass wrestling fans like us that know everything, I don't want to say wasting your time, but it's kind of like, what was the point of this? Like, they're just retreading the same stories. If I have to hear the story of Hulk Hogan saying, "I didn't know if Andre was going to kick out or not, brother," I'm going to smash my head through this fucking window.
Jesus.
Shut up, Hulk.
And then he's like 93,000. Dave Meltzer's like, actually.
And I don't know how much I ever believe that story. It's like, you're telling me in the ring you didn't know if you were going to go over. Like, what kind of sense does that make? In the main event of WrestleMania?
Hulk is a very interesting man who never tells the whole truth sometimes.
I don't know if you heard this. I think the most interesting stuff of the documentary is some of the weird shit Vince said. Like, he said, like, he didn't believe the Undertaker was concussed when he lost the streak. He just thought he was stunned and taken aback that he lost the streak, and that's why the match sucked.
Did hear that. I think.
Which, dude,
and that,
like,
does he also,
what the hell?
I think he was also the one. No, Steve Austin, the one that says he doesn't believe in CTE concussions, because they talked about Benoit, and I think Austin, like, I don't believe in all that stuff, and I'm like,
yeah, there's evidence. There's evidence.
I think also the quote man of the entire documentary is Tony Atlas. This man,
of all people,
his tie, he just kept touching my pecker. About Pat Patterson.
The thing was, him and like Shane were the only ones that like gave out like interesting stuff. The rest of them kind of were kissing his ass a little bit or saying like the same old stuff. The one story that Paul Heyman said, I don't know if you heard about this, where they
he was like, "Kill me now." Yeah,
he's like, "Kill me now." I don't know how much I believe that, because Paul Heyman likes to stretch out stories. I don't know if that's true. But that being said, Vince could very well have said something like that to this.
This man is batshit insane. We know this for a fact.
And then, like, the final, I think, sort of quote I have from Vince is like, he said how his mind works is very weird, and like they were asking like, what are you thinking right now? And then Vince was like thinking of like sexual thoughts. Like, that's like some of the thoughts that were in his head like at the moment. So he's kind of he basically explained like how his mind is fucked up.
This man's taking enough juice and enough hits in the head. Sure.
Yeah, but like we mentioned, if you know the stories, you don't need to watch it. It's kind of a waste.
It's just a retread of everything. There's nothing new. The only reason I feel like people would get a lot out of this if they weren't wrestling fans.
Yeah, that's true. And it could be Netflix's way of like moving on from Vince being like, okay, this is his legacy, and now we're done. After this, like, he's done. Like, this is the best we're gonna get. And I knew Vince wasn't gonna go deep into many things. He's gonna take shit to the grave. His stories. Yeah. He admitted that at the very beginning. So, yeah,
I kind of wish they did this documentary after Vince was dead, so then you could probably bring out more to a certain degree. Because, like I said,
then though, how much are people gonna say?
True. Like I said, you would just bring stuff to the grave. Can we get a Tony Atlas documentary, just him talking? I would listen. Netflix, pay me. I will watch this. This man, he was like homeless for like 2 years at one point, and then they gave him some stupid African gimmick to get him back. So the story, Tony Atlas's like entire life story is fascinating, and I would watch a shit ton of movies about that. That sounds insane. Netflix, call me. I have all the ideas.
That'll bring the revenue.
You tell me that you would not watch a Tony Atlas documentary.
Oh God! If it's just him talking for 2 hours, I'm in.
See, cheap.
I've heard weird stories about him and Punk not liking each other back in the day. So
in ECW, yeah.
But let's go to, this is like a very quick rumor, and it's about Roman Reigns here. It's about the Royal Rumble next year. That's going to be in Indy. This is the first feature poster of it. Apparently, Roman's going to be in the Rumble match for the first time since 2020. So we mentioned Roman Cody 3. That's why I said there is no way that Roman's winning back his title, because if he's rumored to be in the men's Rumble match, then
he should already have the belt, unless he loses it immediately. This Rumble is going to be so convoluted because I fully don't know who would win.
My pick's still The Rock, but at least for the men's.
God.
Spoiler from down the line in January when we predict these. That'll be interesting. This will be our first podcast Rumble predictions.
Yeah, I got to get a group for that. Because I know everyone has their opinions, and the Rumble matches are always. Because Punk's also there, so he could finally win the Rumble next year. I mean,
Maybe. Another piece of news here. I don't have a picture of it, but Saturday night's main event is coming back.
Okay, I love the TV specials, and I love like old school like wrestling stuff. The promos and like the commercials they're running for Saturday night's main event.
Oh, they've been
Chef
so
kisses.
good.
I want to see what the stage is gonna look like. That's when it's really gonna sell to me. Like if they're doing
Please
this whole
customize the
80s
stage for once.
Please. Saturday night's main event is iconic. It's beautiful. It's wrestling history. I'm so happy it's back, and it's pretty much going to take the place of a December pay-per-view on free TV, so I'm okay with that.
Roman's going to be there. He's going to be there. Cody's going to be there. Seth's going to be there. Big
It's
stars.
like I said, it's a pay-per-view on TV.
I'm so excited for it. All right, final thing we want to talk about here. Troy mentioned it. NXT last night. Trick
Did you
Williams.
see how many views they got?
I know they got a good amount. I didn't see the official numbers.
900,000.
All right. Good for you.
They almost
NXT.
reached 1 million. They almost reached 1 million, which is very
impressive. You mentioned Punk, GTS, and Ethan Page. I love that he did it with the confetti and the credits rolling.
Like, we're going to get pizza at the back. There's pizza outside, and they actually were
I saw that. That was awesome.
Okay, you want to talk about, what do you think of the new belt designs?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't hate them. But I don't know. They're kind of just there for me. I don't think they're extraordinary, but
they are very much, you know what these belts remind me of? They're very much UFC belts. Because you ever see like the
that's
UFC
what I was
title
thinking
belts?
too.
They are the exact, like I get the women's and men's belts looking the same. I wish you didn't do that because I wish they would more be distinct. But UFC, every belt is the exact same, just different sizes. It's like, it's fair. I think it's a fair design. I think making NXT silver instead of gold is interesting.
Yeah, the brand new logo and colors.
I'm also fascinated why they only did the main two titles and not like the tag titles or the North American titles.
Yeah,
I guess
kept
those
all those the same.
Those were good enough. I mean, because the old NXT title really had the 2.0 like splashes of color on it, so I get it. But that 2.0 has been dead for like 2 years now.
Yeah, and it did not last long. 2.0, at all.
I can't wait for someone's video essay in like 10 years about NXT 2.0. What a weird NXT chapter that was, but yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for them. I'm happy that they're getting. I saw the Wesley and Zachary Wentz match, that was pretty great. Poor Zach missed the entire table. That was this man vaulted off into the outside. Table was right here.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Awesome.
Roxanne Perez still NXT Women's Champion, which that's surprising to me. I thought she was definitely.
She's been champ for a while.
Like, good while. I fully don't know when she won it because it's been so long.
Matt would probably know but he's not here because he watches it.
I catch up with NXT. Like I love their TNA crossover because I just like TNA. So I love Joe Hendry coming in. Hey, Joe Hendry. Love when Alex Hammerstone comes in.
I will riot if I don't see a Joe Hendry Royal Rumble appearance.
Oh my God! Could you imagine? It's gonna be beautiful. No, I just want TNA to come to Pittsburgh. I'm pitching TNA to Pittsburgh. I will fill out this entire venue with just me, because I would die to see Joe Hendry and all them. Moose, which is surprising because I remember before the end of when Trick Williams won the belt, because I saw things that they're gonna have like a big surprise thing in the show. I'm like, all right, who? It can't be on the Lucha Brothers. They're on contract hell.
Yeah,
it's got to be someone else from NXT, like TNA. So I'm like, Moose is still not been on WWE programming for some reason. Don't know why. He's like the biggest star. Weird. I don't think Josh Alexander, the two biggest stars of TNA, are not on NXT for some reason. Put them some bitches on there.
Nick Nemeth is.
Well, he's the champion. Hell, why not?
He is the champion.
Tell me a pay-per-view where it's Worlds Collide, TNA versus NXT would not kick all the ass.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
TNA, call me.
Obi versus Moose.
Oh, and Obi's promo. Oh, so because Obi, love him so. This man's a past. Great promo too. This
Love
man
him.
can talk. He is, because his eyes are terrifying as he stares you down. I'm like, I'm pissing myself. But NXT's good. I'm happy for the rebrand. Like I said, hopefully, the real question is if they can maintain all this viewership next week.
Yeah, it probably inevitably fall off because Punk's
It
not
always
going to be
does.
there every week. I love the video on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it of like Punk wearing HBK shorts.
And this man's
and
bulge
the
is
hat,
fucking showing his shit. Did you see that?
and oh my god, yeah. And Shawn Michaels is like, no, not the shorts. Give me the hat because that looks ridiculous on you. I'm like, this is so good. I never thought Punk and Triple H. Who would have thought they'd be in a comedy segment together
with CM Punk in 2024? You tell
It's
someone
amazing.
that 5 years ago, they would have killed you.
Oh yeah.
But no, happy for NXT. We'll see where it goes.
Very happy. I don't have anything else lined up, but Troy, I don't know if you have any other maybe like non-pay-per-view storylines that are going on. I'm trying to think like the Xavier Woods character arc.
The heel
He's got
turn.
an IC title match against Jay. Yeah, do you
He's
think
not
he's
winning.
turned heel? You think he's
Oh,
probably
turn
turned
heel.
heel after?
I'm very curious what would have happened in this feud if Odyssey Jones stayed, because he's gone. I want to know what would have happened, because like, was Xavier Woods going to beat up Odyssey Jones?
I have a feeling Odyssey would have turned on Kofi with Xavier, and that would have been like his powerhouse. Odyssey would be with Woods. That's what I think we were leaning towards. And poor Kofi would have probably, God, done nothing.
I think Karrion Kross's gimmick of being like the devil's advocate, as he's like going around telling everyone to turn heel, I think that's more interesting than like anything he's done. Like
it's like what the Fiend did when the Fiend wrestled guys and they would change characters too.
Or do you know Sean O'Hare?
Yeah,
he had a devil's advocate gimmick, and he would have these promos just talking about you should cheat on your wife because I'm just telling you to do so. I'm like devil's advocate. It was so go watch some Sean O'Hare devil's advocate promos. That shit was awesome. The problem is they dropped it immediately.
Well, now the Miz is a heel again, so
thank God.
Main event Miz. Maybe?
No. The problem is that the heel roster in Raw is just so damn stacked. I mean, he would be a great IC title feud for Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Because Miz is such a established IC champion like that. He can fit in that slot really well. I think that would work well for him. Tag titles, they should. Okay. What would you prefer? I want your opinion on this. Would you rather have the titles on main event storylines but not get defended forever, or have the belts on jobbers and they get defended all the time but they're barely featured?
I like the first champion. I like the first option because at least even though that maybe it's sometimes you forget they're champions, when they defend it makes them relevant. At least there's no point if they're champions but a bunch of jobbers wrestling. Like, I want the tag champs in storylines. I just think that's better for the product, honestly, than just a bunch of tag title gauntlet #1 contender matches, but no story arcs.
But you have like legit, I don't know. I kind of miss tag titles just being like, here's like, just a quirky tag, like when the New Day and Usos would have it and like switch.
But even they had eventually a story.
That's true. No, I'm saying that they need stories, but I'm just saying they're not like main eventers. They're tag wrestlers, so like they can fight other tag wrestlers.
JD McDonough, main eventer.
His big ass fucking head. I don't know.
Tongaloa, main eventer.
Like, the tag titles are just at this point kind of just so stagnant because they've been on just the story. The only time we got a reprieve from the Bloodline or Judgment Day tag champions is when at Mania and Truth and Awesome Truth and A Town Down Under won them. Which still, what a weird.
And then DIY held him for a week.
That was so worthless. So worthless. I don't know. I kind of wish the tag titles would feature more because I love tag wrestling. Wrestling's like some of my favorite. But unfortunately, we get are with the main eventers and not for tag. So the tag titles are kind of worthless.
That might be the one thing AEW has WWE beat is their tag division right now, because they have
division's always been the best.
They argue they probably have too many tag teams because a lot of them get lost in the shuffle so much.
Well, they have
but
like
it
4
is
sets of
stacked.
tag. Yeah, they have. That's the problem when you have trios titles and regular tag titles. It's like convoluted. Because once you lose the tag titles, like 2-man, immediately just jump to the third one, find a partner. So I don't know. I think it's a little murdy. And then you have the Ring of Honor tag titles, which who the hell knows who those champions are?
I don't even care. But in terms of
Exactly.
AEW, I love that Danielson's champion. I already said that in my last video, Bash at Berlin. I love Moxley's new character. I know it's based off of some film. I forgot what film it was, but that's where he's basing his new character. And now he's the number 1 contender. Poor Darby lost his shot.
To be fair,
I
man.
have a feeling Moxley's winning I don't know if he's gonna win it at the next pay-per-view, but I think he's gonna win the belt at some point with this
Is
new
Brian's
character.
stipulation still if he loses a match he retires?
I think he's gonna lose by the end of the year because I think he has to get surgery next year. I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he's gonna be a part-timer. That's what I think.
Okay. I mean, Moxley won the belt for what, the 4th time now, I think this would be?
Yeah, he's held it a lot.
That's just because CM Punk bullshit.
Yeah, he kind of like is the MVP of AEW for holding that ground with all that BS and with his new character too, and his new a new heel stable in the Blackpool Combat Club. That would be interesting, but it would suck if Danielson lost right away.
Yeah, the fairy tale ending would just be... Yeah, I still Brian will probably go on till I don't know. I see him held his belt for a while because if he's gonna retire, like if I'm remembering the storyline correctly, which likes to quote me if I'm wrong because I have not watched AEW in a while, that Brian, if he loses, he'll retire like how Ric Flair did at his like last match kind of thing. They might have Brian hold his belt till next year's All In.
I don't know if his health is going to be like that though, because he just gets hurt so often.
This man don't care. This man will go 156. Love him to death, but please, sir, you have a family. Stop bleeding.
Yeah, but I think that's all I got in terms of wrestling news. There isn't a whole lot else. Do you have anything?
A few. What is your thoughts on whenever Lucha Bros finally get over here? Because it seems like Penta's gonna come first, because his contract ends 2 months from now. Well, Ray is gonna be like next year. If Penta comes, it's gonna be interesting of him just being a single star. I'm curious what they'll do with that.
Well, didn't they? Wasn't it Phoenix that was kind of an AEW the single star for like a little bit?
Yeah, but Penta wasn't. But
Penta wasn't.
Penta is a former TNA champion, so I mean, he is a single star. I mean, you can build him. It's just he's not been a single star in a bit. So I'm just curious of how they're gonna book it.
And also, I don't know if they're a tag team or singles, where they'll go. My gut says NXT because I don't know if they're gonna have a spot for them on Raw and SmackDown right now.
I can argue you can put them on Raw because, like, what tag teams are on Raw?
Bauer, JD, Authors of Pain.
Okay, that's a tag team. Because Awesome Truth just broke
but
up.
they're about to break up.
They're about to break up. Pete Dunne and Sheamus broke up, so not the Brawling Brutes.
Everyone's breaking up. Everyone's breaking up.
We need some new tag teams.
Viking Raiders, I think, are injured right now. They've been gone for a little bit.
But I think that's what the symbol was on Raw. Is that's supposed to be them returning?
Oh, that's right.
Which they're going to be a much, they're going to be a nice bring back. Cause I also know the Motor City Machine Guns are coming to WWE, but they're NXT. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be great. And lastly, what is your thoughts on Miro requesting his release from AEW?
What a waste of a signing.
This poor man. He's been in this company since like what, 2020.
Yeah, 2021, I think.
This man only wrestled like twice this entire year.
I mean, this reminds me of the Andrade signing where they hyped up but did batshit to do anything. Like the only time I liked Miro was the redeeming champion. And then after he lost, champion? And then when he lost the title, what the hell did he do? He did nothing.
He brought his wife in, CJ Perry, and then they both vanished from TV. And then they got a divorce. And then
they got divorced and she got yeah. It's probably his personal life. I kind of feel bad for both of them because probably a little bit rough, so that might have a lot to do with the absence, but I don't know why they haven't used him. Like, we thought WWE fucked them up badly with Rusev Day back then. How do you manage to screw this guy up again?
How do you? Both companies can't do anything. Like, how? This man is insanely talented. Can wrestle, cut a promo like no one's business. Both companies fuck it up.
Man, if he goes back, maybe Miro will see. Maybe Triple H can use him correctly. Maybe.
Because I'm trying to think. What other companies are out there now?
TNA.
You tell me him versus like Josh Alexander or like Moose would not kick all the ass. Could you imagine Miro versus Joe Hendry?
that would
kick all the ass. TNA, please call me. I have ideas. I will book for you. I do it for free.
Yeah, but please give Miro his release for the love of everything.
And the last thing I want to mention is, have you been seeing that JBL is now at every goddamn other... This man's invading TNA, GCW, MOW. This man's conquering the world, just clotheslining everyone.
I heard Sam Roberts say like a good point for like a new gimmick for him, where he goes to all these promotions. I think in promos he wants to like fix the wrestling business or something, or make it like what it once was. So maybe he's like hand selecting guys that he's like saving from attacks or something. And maybe he's building a new stable.
Like an indie stable across every like 3 promotions. That would be insane.
I'd love it.
That would be sick, actually. You know what? I'm just going to make some jokes. I love that idea. I'm going to shut up. Because I thought he was just going to have an in-ring return. Because he's been retired since, 2009?
How old is he? Like,
who cares? Sure. If Ric Flair, the son of a bitch, can have a heart attack in the rings, JBL can still get in this goddamn fucking ring.
Oh my god! Please don't. We don't talk about that last ever match. That was bad. Way to end it on an interesting note.
I think that's everything wrestling I can think of at the moment off the top of my head since SummerSlam.
But we'll make sure to bring Matt back down the line for Crown Jewel, War Games. We got a bunch of shit coming up. So,
will you be coming home for Survivor Series? Or no?
I will be coming home. And thanks for letting the podcast know, because they sure as hell care.
Well, no, because we could do an in-person podcast.
Yeah, that is true. Stay tuned for that. We could possibly do that because it is around Thanksgiving, so that would be fun to do an in-person rendition of War Games.
Where is Survivor Series being held this year?
Vancouver.
Oh, okay, so not in America, but still in our time zone. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm off so I can at least watch the pay-per-view, y'all.
Don't worry, we'll try to work that out. But thank you, Troy, as always, for doing this. Fuck you, Matt, for not doing this.
Suck your glasses.
But felt good to be back here. I'll probably try to do a review of Bad Blood. But like I said, it's going to be the same old thing where it's every so often where I'll post videos. But towards WrestleMania season, we'll be back to consistency. But